Hello, my name is Dylan Terrell. I'm a student in the Department of Agriculture at Texas A&M University. Today, I'll be talking to you about GMOs, the future of food. The world as we know it is on its way to a major food crisis. With the ever-growing population and the amount of land that we are able to use to grow crops staying the same, we are soon going to run into a major dilemma where we will not have enough food to feed the world's population. This will cause war and destruction across the globe. There are two main solutions that people in the field of agriculture are contemplating to solve this crisis: GMOs and organic crops. Today I'll be telling you why GMOs will solve the food crisis that organic crops cannot. GMOs have greater durability, they are cheaper for everyone, and have a longer shelf life. As I said, GMOs have a greater durability. One of the main issues that are facing crops today is climate change. As the climate continues to get worse and worse, and as we continue to see increases in heat and crazy rain, it is speculated by Daniel Acker of Time News that there will be a decrease in crop yield by 11% and an increase in store prices by 20% by the year 2050. This will cause a major detriment to all involved, as higher prices will lead to problems across the world, since people who can barely afford food now will then not be able to afford food for their families, and it will cause a strain on everyone's budget. Another issue that is facing crops is plant disease. Plant disease includes pests that infect the crops as well as pathogens. According to Pam Conrice of California Ag Today, plant disease on a global scale has caused wheat loss around 10 to 20% and rice loss of 25 to 41%. If this continues, the amount of crops that are available for purchase and for the world will be much less than what is required. By using GMOs, farmers are able to prevent both of those problems. GMOs will be able to make a crop drought resistant, which will prevent crazy heat that we are starting to see in the summertime. GMOs can also make crops more pest resistant. As we see here, we have a Honduran farmer which holds up 2 ears of corn. The top corn is genetically modified to resist a local pest, and the other one is not. By using these genetic modifications, GMOs are able to prevent pests from infecting the crops. Unlike GMOs, organic crops do not have these modifications and will continue to be their crop yield will continue to suffer from weather-related issues and plant disease. Another benefit of GMOs is that they are cheaper for everyone, producers and consumers. On the producer side, according to Science Daily, due to the decrease in loss from pests, farmers that use GMOs will no longer need to spray chemicals. These chemicals, especially across large acres of farmland, bear a heavy burden on the farmers. This will free up the farmers to have more money to plant more crops, increasing the supply. Also, since farmers will see less of a decrease in their crop yield, they will have more crops overall to supply for the consumers. On the consumer aspect, using GMOs decreases the price of all goods in the store. According to Michael Stebbins of Forbes, corn would be priced 6% higher without any genetically modified crops. This is because by using genetically modified crops, there are more crops available, and when there are more crops available, the price of an item usually goes down. GMOs also have a longer shelf life in comparison to organic crops. According to Leah Sajid of Motivation, one of the main parts of keeping a crop organic is not spraying it with any antibacterial chemicals. By not spraying it with any antibacterial chemicals, when crops grow, they're easily affected by bacteria, which spoils them, which makes them unable to be used by consumers. Well, with GMOs, crops do not have that issue. According to Brian Wollheimer of Purdue News, it was reported that a yeast gene was found to prevent aging by tomatoes of at least 1 week. This will allow tomatoes to be able to stay on the shelf longer, which will prevent them from being thrown out when they're being transported from the farm to the grocery store. The majority of organic crops are actually thrown out during that process because of infection by bacteria, which makes them unable to be used by the grocery store managers. As I said before, using GMOs will solve the food crisis that organic crops cannot. As the world's population continues to increase, more and more farmers need to turn to GMOs rather than organic crops when producing their crops. This is because GMOs, as opposed to organic crops, have more durability to harsh conditions, they are cheaper for the farmers to use, and they have a longer shelf life. Overall, crops that are made using GMOs are much more efficient than organic crops. In order to prevent the impending food crisis, we need GMOs. Thank you. Here's my bibliography, and here are my note cards. Thank you.